Have you ever thought to yourself, wow, I wish there was an amusement park themed after garlic and nature? Well, look no further than today's destination, Gilroy Gardens. The security line was pretty long today, but that's alright because it gives us a little time to take a look at the map and familiarize ourselves with Gilroy Gardens because it's going to be our first time ever coming here. And one of the reoccurring themes that you're going to see today is trees, and that's for a good reason. This is Michael Bonfante. There's not a lot of information about him available online. I'm not even sure if he's alive or dead, to be honest, but there's one thing that is certain. He loves trees. So much so that he went around the world collecting these things called circus trees, which are basically trees grown in these crazy shapes, and he wanted to start a big garden filled with these trees for people to visit, but he realized gardens aren't profitable, but you know what is? A theme park. So around his garden, he built rides and attractions for people to enjoy, and that's how we ended up with Gilroy Gardens as it is today. You see this love for nature immediately when you walk into the park. Everything here is surrounded by beautiful trees. You can really see it on this first path that we venture down. Along this winding trail, you get to see beautiful waterfalls and babbling creeks, and at the end of it, you get to see our first circus tree. This one here is the arch tree. But now it's time for our first ride of the day. It's called South County Backroads Garden, and it's a classic vintage car ride that I'm super excited to get on. Next up on our journey is Rainbow Garden. In this, you get to ride on little flower-themed boats around a gentle flowing river, and in the line you have another little creek flowing beneath you, and through the trees you can see another ride themed after an apple core. We didn't ride this apple core ride because it was definitely a kid's ride, but also the ride vehicle freaks me out a little bit. But the scenery really makes me feel like I'm a little bug in a garden or something. It's a weird but kind of comforting feeling. But now it's time to load onto our flower boats and set sail. On our little flower boats, we get to go by this man-made lake that they call Coyote Lake, and you get to have a cool view of people riding the swans as you pass by. Our next ride you might have seen peeking through the trees while we were waiting for the Rainbow Garden. This is the Mushroom Swing, which is a chair swing themed as a mushroom. And I've been on a couple chair swings in my day, but this was probably the fastest and most intense one I've ever been on. Next, we're looking for a place to get a nice view, so we're gonna hop on the panoramic wheel. And once you're at the top, you can get a nice view of this really big indoor garden where we're heading next. And lucky for us, the entrance to that garden is right at the exit of the panoramic wheel. And this garden is another place that really showcases how green this park is. They have banana trees, guava trees, and avocado trees, which I was really tempted to try and pick one and take one home. But down below you, they have more creeks, and up above you, they have this kind of people mover style monorail that goes to the garden. How do you like them apples, Disneyland? Right outside of the garden is one of 2 roller coasters at this park. This is Quicksilver Express, and it's a family mine train coaster, which was a pretty rough ride, but I still enjoyed it. Next up, we tried to go ride that people mover, but it was actually closed, so maybe I should cut Disneyland some slack. Right next to it was this 4-legged circus tree, which was pretty cool, and it's the one that you can actually see in the construction photo that I showed earlier. But now I'm on the hunt for some food. I'm getting a little hungry, but that's when I came across this sign here for Chick-fil-A. And I was pretty intrigued. I've never seen Chick-fil-A in a theme park, but this Chick-fil-A was disguised as a Chinese restaurant for some reason. Kind of strange. I guess they're converting it right now, maybe. But I got a sandwich, and it was Chick-fil-A. Wasn't anything special. But this Chick-fil-A has a front row view to one of the most terrifying animatronic shows I've ever seen.
Well, toss it up, baby. Toss it up, baby. To screams and shout. Screams and shout. We'll toss it up, baby. Toss it up, baby. Come on and dish it all out. Dish it all out. Toss those screams, little girl. Screams, little girl. Which tastes so good with wine. Good with wine. You really got us going now. Got us going. You know it tastes so fine. Tastes so fine. Come on. I said,
After that nightmare, we checked out this toy store, and in there they had unicorn lightsabers and buildable taco race cars. Isn't that cool? But I wasn't finished eating. I wanted something else, so I came over to this place called Uncle John's Grill, and I got some chicken skewers. I saw on Reddit that this is one of the foods that you're supposed to get. Everyone says it's good. I mean, ooh, the stick's a little fragile. Look at this thing glisten. Oh! A fly wants my chicken. I enjoyed these skewers quite a bit. They had like a nice charcoal flavor to them. The only thing that I wish was there was more garlic, since we are in the garlic park. I feel like that would make sense, but there goes the Chick-fil-A cow. Now I'm going to Bonfante Falls, one of the park's main attractions. This is what was behind us while we were eating our chicken. One of the many waterfalls here at Gilroy Gardens. There's this little walkway where you can go close to the waterfall and get a little wet, but I started getting a little too wet, so I started running. But to dry off, there's a little trail that leads down to the Coyote Lake, and you can get a nice view of the mushroom and the swans going by. And then a couple steps to the left, you can check out another waterfall. But all that eating's got me thirsty, and I think I'm ready for a cocktail. I got this strawberry lemonade cocktail with white rum, I think, from the Oasis bar. I'm gonna try it right now. It's actually pretty strong. 10 out of 10. After getting a little buzz going, we headed past this area with some kiddie rides and some midway games where you could earn very cool prizes such as Mr. Pickle. Over here they also have the circus tree that is on their logo, which looked really cool, but the main reason we came this way was to ride the paddle boats. But once we got down here and got in line, we realized that this line was moving really slow, and there's a lot of other things that we want to check out before the park closes, so we decided to skip this today. But we did catch this duck that was staring very intensely at the swan. After leaving the line for the paddle boats, we headed over to Timber Twister, which is the second roller coaster here at Gilroy Gardens. This one's like one of those classic drive tire lift hill family coasters, and it's themed after a rattlesnake. And this coaster sports an extremely long train. So we walked all the way to the back and made sure we got that very back seat. And I'm glad we did, because when you're in the back seat, it absolutely throws you over the lift hill on the way down, and it was actually a lot of fun. Our next stop is the Banana Split, which is a banana themed swing. And after riding the mushroom swing that was surprisingly pretty fast, I was hoping maybe this banana swing was going to be like something crazy, but it actually wasn't. I've ridden a couple of these kinds of rides and I've been on better. Right next to it there was another gift shop, so we decided to check it out, and we spotted these really cool looking garlic fellas, and we had to add that to the collection. Now this is something I've been waiting for all day. The garlic twirl is sort of the main attraction here. I can't tell you how many times I've seen TikToks of this ride. It was actually the first thing that I've ever seen about Gilroy Gardens. From the moment I saw it, I knew I wanted to ride it. It's just kind of a funny idea, making the Disneyland teacups into garlic bulbs. I can't believe I'm finally here, loading into my garlic capsule to go for a spin. We were having such a good time on this ride. Here's a picture of my girlfriend while we were spinning. Now the sun is starting to set and the park is winding down to close. We only have time for one more ride, but I wanted to check out the scenery one last time before we do that. We decided to do the train as our last ride, and I'm glad we did, because this ride around the park kind of felt like a recap of our entire day. And that concludes our day at Gilroy Gardens. It was really cool to explore a new park for a change, and I want to thank you guys for coming along with us. Thank you for watching.